Hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to preview the upcoming Hellenic Mountain Race. Now the Hellenic Mountain Race is an ultra race, part of the Mountain Race series, and this is the third race in the series after the Silk Road Mountain Race and the Atlas Mountain Race. It's the third one that was created, and it takes part in Greece. Now it's actually the shortest one of the series. However, there is a hell of a lot of climbing, so 27,800 meters climbing in only 883 kilometers. So you can tell by the Riber GPS profile here that it is actually pretty hilly. There's no flat whatsoever. So yeah, certainly a tough one, and we'll dig into the route a bit more in a second. First up, I just want to say thank you to my sponsors for this coverage, Peloton. Obviously they do sunscreen and after sun. I've been using it for a while now. Used it on the Tour Divide way back in 2019. They do handy little kind of roll-on bottles which are quite good for putting in bikepacking bags. So yeah, they're on board. They're supporting this Hellenic Mountain Race coverage, and I've got a 20% discount code for their website, so I'll put a link up above. So yeah, hit that if you need some sunscreen. So let's, before I go sort of dig into the route map here on Riber GPS, let's have a little look at some of the favourites for the race. Now there's some riders are taking on all three of the mountain races this year, including myself. So there's a few people that have done multiple races, and then some people are just coming in for this race alone. So the first person to keep an eye on is Alex McCormack. He has to be the out-and-out favourite for this race. He won the Atlas Mountain Race back in February, and his goal for the year is to try and win all three races. He's a really, really strong climber. So yeah, this course is really going to suit him. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how Alex will get on. I imagine I might see him on the start line and probably not again for the rest of the race. If I do see him further on in the race, it's either gone really well for me or very badly for him. So we'll see what's happened there. Next up, Miron Golfman. He again was in the Atlas Mountain Race. This was him after the finish there. He was, I think, an hour or two ahead of me in that race. Again, he's doing the whole series. Strong rider, quite good on sort of the mountain bike trails. Hellenic is not like an out-and-out mountain bike race, but there are a few sections which are a bit more technical. It's definitely one that you want to be on a mountain bike for, quite rugged. I guess it's similar to the Balkans, the Accursed races just happened further north, which I did last year. It's kind of the kind of race where you want to be on a mountain bike just to make life a little bit more comfortable, and Rowan's good on that terrain. So again, see how he gets on. On to our women, Megan Hakkinen again. She's doing all three races this year. She was second woman and just inside the top 20 overall at Atlas race in February. So again, she'll be looking forward to putting in a strong ride here. And she'll be going out to Kyrgyzstan in August as well. So keep an eye on Megan. She's definitely one to watch. Next up, I've actually picked Eric House. So he was riding this single speed. He rode Atlas on single speed and was one of the fastest single speeders. So yeah, I got a lot of respect for single speeders. So I thought Eric deserved a bit of a shout out. And I think he's going out to Silk Road as well. So yeah, see how he gets on those hills, and be interesting to know what gear he's got. I guess in some respects, having a course where it's either up or down is slightly easier for single speed, because you can choose your gear for the climbs and then basically you're freewheeling on the descents anyway. Whereas where there's lots of flat and climbing, you do have to kind of mess around a bit more with the ratio to make sure you can actually still pedal when it is flat. So yeah, keep an eye out for Eric. Who else have we got? Hannah Simon, she has completed the Atlas Mountain Race, Silk Road Mountain Race, Tour Divide in the past. Really strong rider. You can see here this is from Kyrgyzstan on the Silk Road Mountain Race. I think this will be her first attempt at the Hellenic Race, so it'd be really good to see how she gets on. Again, really strong rider. She'll be up there kind of overall and vying for the win in the women's race. So yeah, keep an eye on Hannah on the dots. Lastly, I've just picked Anatol Neme. He was fifth in the Atlas Mountain Race. He's sort of been top 10, top 5 in the Transcontinental Race as well. Another really strong rider. I suspect this course may suit him quite well. Pretty good on a mountain bike, quite a strong climber, and it's the kind of it's a shorter race. I think the winning time is probably going to be around 3 and a bit days. There was rumours of maybe someone going under 2 days. I think that would be very condition dependent. The last few years it has been quite wet. But yeah, it's the kind of race where I think there's going to be absolutely minimal sleep, and the fast guys are just going to go full gas and try not to sleep. So yeah, it's I think that kind of would suit Anatole. But again, we'll see how it all pans out when the race begins this Saturday. So let's have a little bit of a look at the route. Now, I can't give too much insight because this is the first time I've done this particular race. But I have ridden through the region before. I might even be able to. I don't think my route's on here, but if I put my route maps on, oh no, the ride I did is not on here. But at some point, probably nearly 10 years ago, I rode through Albania and then crossed through Greece here. So I've got a bit of an indication of these mountains. I was on the road, so not quite the off-road terrain. But you can see here, this is the route that's supplied by the organiser. So they use Riber GPS now. So they put in a lot of handy points. And you can see already, water is not going to be an option. There's water fountains, pretty kind of well spread around the route. Also resupply, if I head on to Google Maps, you can just see there's quite a number of towns. The gaps between resupply are not really that big. And from what I've heard from all the riders, this is one of the races where you can normally find somewhere to sleep, sort of that's sheltered. There's normally food. Food's not an option. Food's not a problem. Water's not a problem. So the main thing, as you can see by the elevation graph at the bottom, is just these big climbs, one after the other, pretty much non-stop. Flattens out a tiny bit at the finish. But yeah, it's a climbers race for sure. I think riders will want to be really minimising their kit list. I've pared mine down as much as I want to. I probably would have taken more risks a few years back. And there has been some pretty bad weather in the last two editions. The big problem that a lot of riders have had is wearing out brake pads. Just with this much descending, the brakes do get a lot of wear on them. And if you get rain and mud and grit, then they can really wear out quickly. So I've got sintered pads fitted, which are the slightly harder compound, and a couple of spare sets as well, just to be sure, because you don't want to be going off route to try and replace brake pads during the race. Now you can see the race starts in Meteor. Now this is a classic finish position for the transcontinental race. It's basically kind of through all these massive rocks, and there's loads of monasteries up in these rocks. Pretty spectacular. It's a place I've wanted to go to for quite a while, so I'll be glad to finally get to go there. The race I was meant to do, or scratched out of, probably sort of 8-9 years ago, I was supposed to finish here. So it'd be nice to finally get there. And as you can see, pretty long climb straight off the bat. But it should be fairly easy going to start with in terms of terrain. See a bit of tarmac, and this gives you a bit of an idea of the kind of mountains. So yeah, a fair bit of off-road, but there are some good road sections in here as well. As I said, resupply is not too much of an issue. Matova is the kind of, I guess, a crossroads on this route. So you can see basically go from Meteor to Matova, and then there's this big loop around the north. Now, I think this is where a lot of the bad weather has hit before. There are plenty of places to stay. There are some refuges up high, but you can see that just by the elevation here, you get to the highest point of the whole race pretty early on, 165 miles in. So probably towards the end of the first day, probably in the middle of the night. So yeah, if there's bad weather, then you do have to be careful. But there's no sustained elevation. It's not like Kyrgyzstan, where you're above 2,500, 3,000 meters for a long time. You're basically going up high, might touch over 2,000 meters, and you're dropping straight back down again. But it does mean that the climbs will be long. When you go from low elevations to up high, you can get some pretty extended climbs. So yeah, it'd be all about getting into a nice rhythm and riding your own race. Not going too hard, and just keep fueling. And there's plenty of options, as you can see, all the way along here. There's little kind of places to stop. First checkpoint is on this northern loop in Smolikas. The second checkpoint is just here. So that's Melisuri. Again, a terrible pronunciation that I'm bad at pronunciations if you watch enough of these videos. And then a fairly straightforward run in, quite a lot of tarmac in this last third. So yeah, should be a relatively fast race. It won't be the longest ultra going. I suspect there'll be a good number of people finishing under 4 days. That's my personal aim. We'll see what that's worth in terms of an overall result. And the finish is down here in Nafpaktos. As you can see, not quite on the sea, but there's this big, is it an estuary I don't even know what it is. I need my geography. It's a gulf, isn't it? Gulf of Corinth. So yeah, finishing on the coast there should be a nice finish. Get some good Greek food, and yeah, then get ready for the Silk Road Mountain Race later in the year. So yeah, don't forget to follow on. It'll be on map progress, and yeah, keep an eye on the Hellenic Mountain Race Instagram page for the updates. I'll be back after with bike checks and kit checks and a race report and video and all of that stuff. So thanks for watching, and see you again soon.